project. And I'm broadcasting today from Tampere, Finland. Today I will mainly stay in the back office, taking care of the chat and the questions and comments. But before I give the floor for our today's host, I will go through some general house rules. And now let's see if I'm luckier with the screen share than I was yesterday. So here we are. EODEM and LIDO working group, first time together. I will quickly go through the house rules, which are probably familiar to most of you, but let's just do so. So this session will be recorded. Yes, I can see the small red dot, so the recording is already started when I started the first slide. The recordings will be available on the conference page for about 3 months and maybe even later. We ask you now to keep your microphones, at least your microphones turned on, maybe also cameras, unless we ask you to turn them on for questions and answers. And please use chat to comment and ask questions while we have the presentations going on. And if we don't have time to answer all the questions during the session, we will answer to them later and then publish them on the, at least on documentation standards web pages and probably also on the LIDO web pages. You can also send small messages in the chat, where you come from, how is the weather, if you want to introduce yourself, or if something is particularly interesting to you. I will now quickly go through the session program. It will take maybe a little less than 2 hours. First, Rupert will introduce the EODEM, what is the Exhibition Object Data Exchange Model, and why we use LIDO. Then Regine gives LIDO working groups perspective. We will stop for questions and answers. Then Rupert and Regine will continue about collaboration of the 2 working groups. And again, we will stop for questions and answers. Then Jette Klein and Richard Light will join for to give developers and vendors perspectives on EODEM. And in the end of the session, we will go on discussing questions, answers, and free mingling. And then in the end, Nicholas will wrap up the session. Today's speakers will be Rupert Shepherd from National Gallery London, Regine Stein, who is the co-chair of LIDO Working Group, probably very familiar to many of you, Jette Klein Berning. I'm sorry, Jette, I noticed I misspelled your name also yesterday. Jette works for ZCOM and is based in Germany. And then Richard Light, the Modes Users Association from UK, and many other things. And our host today will be Nicholas Crofts, who can then introduce himself later on. He makes sure that the discussion flows freely. And something about you who are participating. There are people registered from 27 different countries and many continents. And I was also curious to see what kind of work do you do when you don't follow the conference. So this was a list of professions and job titles which I got. So from my behalf, welcome to this session, and now I will give the mic to Nick. Please, Nick, unmute your microphone. I passed it to you.
I was, sorry, struggling with the wrong mouse. there. Too many computers. Well, welcome everybody to the session. As Maija said, I'm just here as the oleaginous anchor to keep things fluid, keep things moving. And so without further ado, actually, I will skip over introducing myself because I don't have anything particularly interesting to add to in that respect. I will actually ask Rupert Shepherd, who's smiling at us from sunny Oxford, to talk a little bit about how this whole thing got going and why the group decided to use LIDO. Rupert.
Thank you. Let's just make sure that we are sharing things properly.